Hey guys, welcome to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to get things animated. In this file, we've imported all of the parts into Blender and we've also parented them. For example, if I select the upper arm and I rotate it, the entire arm is rotated. That's awesome. And if I select the body and I move it around, everything has been parented to the body, the entire arm. So that's awesome. If you can notice, the mouth was not parented. So there's a couple little things that we need to do that we neglected to do in the previous video. And so let's go ahead and get started with those. I'm going to select the body. And the first thing I noticed is how the contrast doesn't look that good. The darks doesn't look very dark. And that's because the default material has a specular highlight and it has some roughness in there. So I'm going to take out the highlight, the specular highlight. Boom. And that, as you can see, that makes it a lot better. And crank up the roughness to 1%. And I'm going to do that with all of the body parts that we brought in. The upper arm, get rid of the highlight, increase the roughness. The lower arm. We have to do that to the eyes as well. Okay, let me go ahead and turn off those, turn these on. And then we're ready to animate. Oh, one last thing that a couple things that we need to do before we get ready. And I've neglected to fix this lip. If I zoom in on it, you can see that this lip came in a little bit messed up. And so I'm going to go to tab, select that lower lip, and just fix those points. Move them around until they are where they should be. Okay, I think that's it. Tab. The other thing I'm going to do is go ahead and select these mouth shapes and then select the body and go ahead and parent these. Command P, object keep transform, like we did with all the body parts. That way, when we select the body, everything will go with it. Great. We need to bring that lower arm forward because you'll see what happens when we start animating. All right, cool. We're not going to do it. I want you to see when it happens, the error that happens, and then how to fix it. All right, so we are at frame 1. We're ready to animate at this point. And the first thing I'm going to animate is the arm extending. This is the end position. When she extends her arm out, this is the position that it will be in. So I obviously don't want this position at frame 1. I want it at the end position, at the end frame. Oh, and since these are objects, these are PNGs, I want to reveal my timeline. I don't want to do it on the dope sheet. So here it is. Here's our timeline. I'm going to open this up. And I'm guessing it'll take about a second to extend out. So let's say 30 frames. Let's just say 30 frames. So I am going to select the upper arm. In fact, let's go ahead and lock the body. How do I lock the body? The option is not available in the outliner, but if you click the little filter drop down and you click on this selectable option, selectable, the little arrow, here it is. Now it's available, and this body will not be selectable. Click, and so therefore it's locked. I can't select it. I can't select it. All right, cool. So now I can select the upper arm and keyframe it. Keyframe it, hit I, and I'm going to keyframe only the rotation. So I'm going to keyframe only the rotation. Select the lower arm, keyframe. Select the arm, the hand, and keyframe that. And then remember that we have another hand, this one, and hit I. At the beginning, or at the end of the animation, everything has been keyed. I added a keyframe, you can see here, to the upper arm, to the lower arm, to this hand, and to this hand. Okay, let's start animating. Again, I've keyframed everything. Add frame 30, the upper arm, lower arm, and both hands. You can see that right there. At frame 1, if I just click on this, I'm going to turn on auto keyframe, and I'm going to start with the upper arm, and I am going to rotate. I'm going to rotate it and bring it in a little bit, right about there, and then bring this one into the beginning position. And now you see what's wrong with this. And so I'm going to hit the 3 to look at the side view, wireframe, and then make sure that I am going to move this hand to the front so that it's in front of her. Hit 0, hit rendered preview, and there they are. Okay, so I want to hide this hand. I want to make it a little smaller. Hit S. And I want to hide it. Let's work with this hand. I'm going to rotate it in place. Right about there. And that's the position. That's the start position. She has her hand by her lips, and she will now animate. Boom. And then at the end position, I'm going to rotate it to where it is like this. So there we go. It might be a little too slow, but we can fix this. Once we have the keyframes, we can fix the speed. I'm going to cut this down to about 60 so we don't have to preview the whole thing. There it is. Now, let's replace this hand with the open hand. Remember, the open hand already has this position. And at frame frame 1, this open hand, let's rotate it. And so it is mimicking there. The way we replace, and it's just a trick that I'm going to show you, the way we replace these two objects, one with the other, is usually with the transparency. We make one transparent, and then the other one we make it opaque, not transparent. But since they are PNGs, I don't have that option here. I don't have the transparency option. So what I'm going to do is scale. So right about at frame 20, I am going to do the swap. So I have the hand open. Well, you know what? Let's start with the hand closed. I'm going to turn this off for a minute. At frame 20, it's 100% in scale. We're going to animate the scale. So hit I, and I'm going to animate the scale. That's 100%. And right now I haven't done a second, so it stays at 100%. At frame 21, this thing is going to be 0%. So here at the scale, I can put 0, 0, oops, tab, 0, 0, and as you can see, gone. It's gone in one frame. So it'll just disappear on that one frame. Boop. And since we had created a keyframe on frame 30 for the scale, we should fix that. Boom, there it is. So frame 1, and it just disappears. Boop, that's it. So the other one, the other hand, at frame 20, let me close that one and open this one. At frame 20, it'll be at 0. So 0, 0, 0. So it should just be 0, 0, 0. Oh, at frame 1, it should also be invisible. So let's scale it to 0. There we go. So it's 0, 0, and then 0. And so at frame 21, we need to scale it back. And I just happened to remember, make sure that you note the scale. I believe it was 0.166, 0.166, 0.166. And so it just from one frame to the other, it appears. So let's turn both of them on. Let me hit N to close this. I'm going to turn both of them on. And that's how you get one to become the other. Boom. There it is. I'm going to do the same with the eyes. At one point, they have to blink. And so we're going to animate this blink. Since I made it a little bit more difficult on myself. Because I have one that is partly closed like that. So it's going to go from open to partly closed to closed. Like that. And so we have to bring one out, bring one in, bring that one out, bring this one in. Let's get that done. See if I'm going to turn all of them on. And of course you can't see them because they are behind the open ones. But it really doesn't matter where you put them. In fact, we can put them on frame 20. Let's say on frame 20, she is going to blink. So at frame 20, this set of eyes, the open ones, are good. We're going to keyframe the scale. At frame 21, I'm going to hit N. And make a note of the scale. 0.107. So at frame 21, these will be gone. This will be 0, 0, 0. Okay, so the eyes, the open eyes are working. They disappear at frame 21. Cool. If we select, let's go ahead and hide these for a minute. If we select these partly closed eyes, they will appear when the open eyes disappear. So at frame 21, they will be 0.061. Let's go ahead and keyframe that. Hit I, scale. And then at frame 20, they shouldn't be there. So 0. Cool. So from 20 to 21, she starts to close her eyes. Cool. And now let's hide these for a minute, the open eyes. And then the closed eyes, you have to kind of think logically. The closed eyes will be gone and then they will appear. At frame 21, the closed eyes will be gone, disappeared. So at 104, make note of the scale. 0, 0, 0. Those are the closed eyes. But at frame 22, they will be at 100%, which is 1.104. 0.104, 0.104. Cool. And then the partly closed eyes, which is these, will be gone again at frame 21. So they need to go 0, 0, 0. So in 3 frames, she's going to, let me turn these on. She's going to have her opened eyes, and boom, boom, she's going to close her eyes. And then we need to bring her back. At frame 23, they will be gone. Closed eyes, 0, 0. Guess what comes back at frame 23? The partly closed eyes. They will be at, I believe that was 0.6061, 0.061, 0.061. So the partly closed eyes come back, and then at frame 24, these go away. Back to 0, 0, 0, 0. So we have open, partly closed, partly opened, and then open again at frame. Let me zoom in on this. At frame 25, we should bring those open eyes back to 100%. But before we do, the opened eyes are at 0. And so we've got to keyframe that. Hit I and keyframe the scale. And then at frame 25, let's bring him back. I believe the scale on the open eyes was 0.107, 0.107, 107. So we brought those eyes back, and if we hit play, boop, there they are. So again, let's go through this again. Partly closed, closed, partly open, open. I think I might have put these right there. There we go. Open, partly closed, closed, partly open, open. And that's it. Let's push it back. Let's see that blink. Boop. There it is. I know it's a little confusing, guys, but all you have to do, since we had 3 parts, the hand, we had 2 parts, open and closed. Easy. But this, we had 3 parts. We had to alternate from the open eyes to the partly opened eyes to the closed eyes. And so if you see the open eyes from 20 to 21, and then they disappear all the way from 23 to 24. The partly opened eyes, they come in at 21, and then they disappear and then come back in and disappear. And the closed eyes, well, they just come in at frame 22, and then they leave. That's it. And they look good. Hit play, boop, she blinks. Here we go again, boom, she blinks. And the only reason I put those partly opened eyes, just to give it a little bit more depth. But you could do it with open and closed, and then that's it. Cool. Now, if you select all of them, you may move this blink anywhere you want. For example, at frame 15, hit play, and boom, there's the blink at frame 15. Not a big deal. That's what I meant. You can move them anywhere you want. Let's say at frame 10. And the arm, we can adjust the speed of the arm. If we select everything in the arm, in fact, just these two, because, well, we could select everything in the arm. This, and this. All, in fact, we can, and we have this here. We can speed it up. We can make this open, closed hand speed up at frame 15. And then the rest of the animation, make it last, I don't know, 25 frames. And it should be a little faster. You want to speed it up, maybe 20 frames. And push this to 10. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. I like that. It's a little bit faster, a little bit more natural. And she blinks. Boop. There it is. Hey guys, so that's mostly all the animation, except for the lip sync. We will cover lip syncing in the next video. It shouldn't be that hard now that we've got this lip fixed, and we've got the lips, the mouth parented to the body. We've got the blink. We've got the hand moving. Everything is working fine. So again, guys, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe. It really does help out the channel. And I will see you on the next one where we will do the lip syncing. Thank you, guys.